just a quick download on the ETH numbers, because the ETH ETF numbers have been pretty impressive the last 10 days, I believe, consecutive days of inflows. Do you want to give us a quick data download here?
Yeah, absolutely. A first post is coming from Wu Blockchain, saying that Ethereum spot ETFs had a total net inflow 274 million on December the 12th, so yesterday. Consecutive 14 days of net inflow. If we head over to CoinGlass, we can take a look and see there's been some pretty strong days. 100 mil the day before, December 11th, 300, 149 mil, 80 mil, 430 mil. So that is quite some significant action on the ETH ETF side of things. One more point that I wanted to add to that is taking a look at Arkham, that blockchain wallet explorer, taking a look at Donald Trump's or Donald Trump associated wallets. You can also see that Trump's holdings allegedly are very strongly skewing towards ETH, with almost 500 ETH and another 480 ETH as wrapped ETH in there. And there's also been this interview that Trump gave where he was basically talking about his future vision for crypto during his administration and kind of reinforcing all the bullish points that he made before, and adding to that he wants to move fast with crypto and AI adoption from the perspective of the USA, because they want to be faster than China. They want to be faster than other countries who might want to join in on that race. So all of that together probably is a good explanation as to why we've seen the ETH ETF inflows catching up over the last week or two.
Yeah, if people didn't see that clip, it's a clip from him speaking at the stock exchange yesterday. It's just wildly bullish. Like they're just being very open about how bullish they are on crypto. As Legendary said, like, look, they want America to be the best place for crypto to be, for the crypto industry to flourish. I think that is the main point. Mike, I'd be fascinated to hear your opinion on this. Like, obviously the regulatory and the regulatory environment in the US seems to be on the cusp of like huge change. I'm not sure exactly where you guys are based, how you've been navigating that up to this point. What's your kind of reflection on this kind of the change in presidency, and then therefore what that means for the industry itself?
So I mean, it's obviously hugely positive, right? Like that's self-evident. I think it's very likely that we're going to see all of these prosecutions and persecutions of good actors in the space probably stop. I mean, we saw the last couple of years, you had all the good actors like Coinbase and Uniswap and Kraken getting attacked, while all the sketchy players were seemingly getting away with it. So I mean, it seems like that's coming to an end. I mean, that's going to be remarkable. I really think that's going to open up a lot of innovation and bring a lot of these crypto companies back into the US. So that's super bullish. In the long run, I actually don't think it matters that much. Honestly, I think I tend to look at things 10, 20 years down the road. What happens in the next 6 months or a year, honestly, is very unpredictable, and it's usually not an effective strategy to invest or plan or do your work thinking about trying to time yourself, within the next couple of months. I just find it very hard to do that. So I just focus on 10 to 20 year timeframes, and over the long time frame, long-term time frame, I don't know that it matters that much whether it's Trump or Kamala or whoever else. We are headed towards this infinite spiral of money printing and inflation that Trump is probably going to exacerbate because he generally tends to be less fiscally responsible than even Democrats. Ironically, I mean, he was a Democrat, right, for most of his life. So the reality is the money printer's back on, and it would have been on whether it was Trump or Kamala or whoever else. And the end game is still very much the same. However you end up playing it, probably holding hard assets rather than fiat, and being more risk on over the next few years is probably the right strategy. But hey, not investment advice.
As always, not investment advice. I think ultimately we were of the same opinion pre-election as well. I do think there was like this big sigh of relief and kind of this unlock of perceived freedom that now people can operate in. But like with the longer term view, in the end, this thing is kind of inevitable. That was kind of our view.
I mean, it is. I don't know that anybody, even the most, pro crypto, kind of wildly optimistic people, predicted that you'd have the elected president of the United States shilling, frankly, shilling a DeFi project, right? And participating in ICO and like talking about a strategic crypto reserve. Like that's nuts. I mean, I don't think anybody had that in their bingo cards. The question is here's okay. I hate to be the kind of the realist or negative, guy here, but like,
I want to hear it.
Like why is Trump doing this? Well, it's because crypto helped him get elected. I don't know that he would have gotten elected without crypto. Obviously, Elon was a huge help, but there were a lot of factors coming in. But crypto helped him get elected. There were a lot of single issue voters, and I think it was the biggest PAC that threw tons of money at him. So the question is, right, if the tide suddenly turned, maybe there's a big scandal or whatever, like, is he the type of guy that's going to stay loyal and like keep his promises, or is he going to like immediately flip and, become anti-crypto? Like, that's not hard to imagine, right? Imagine some, I don't know, whatever. One of the projects that supported him turns out to be a big scam. It's not hard to imagine him turning on a dime, right? He's done that before. So just be cautious, right? Like it's very easy to be super bullish and not believe anything could go wrong. That's why I think playing for the longer term time horizon and not worrying too much about the intermediate term price movements is the right approach. I've always said if I was to give financial advice, the right approach is probably buy some ETH or whatever your favorite Lindy token is, put it in a box and close your eyes for 10 years. That's probably you're probably going to do better with that than anything else you do with active trading.
I like it. One of the things that you said, which stood out to me, and then I was conscious of it as I was saying it, was that basing your investment decisions on people's opinions is maybe not as good a strategy as if you're, when you're talking about like productive assets. And I was conscious as I was saying, like, this is what Trump thinks. And therefore the market just moves in these incredible ways. And it's like, well, that's what he thinks today. I guess what you're posing is that, that might not necessarily be the case that the way that they think moving forward. So I think it's a fair question and a fair risk to just kind of flag to people as we're going into an environment which people are expecting to be hyper bullish. So interesting insights there.